The law of equity. Definition. The term equity refers to fairness and justice. Derivation. It comes from the Latin word equitas, meaning even, fair or equal. Difference between equity and equality. The term equity refers to fairness and justice and is distinguished from equality. Whereas equality means providing the same to all, while equity means recognizing that we do not all start from the same place and must acknowledge and adjust imbalances. In an equality model, a coach gives all his players the exact same shoes. In an equity model, the coach gives all his players shoes that are their size. Common law courts. During the period of 13th and 14th century, there were three types of common law courts working in England, which are 1. Court of Common Plea. 2. Exchequer. 3. King's S/Queen's Bench. Defect and flaws in common law courts. System and procedure of common law courts were defective, which were not providing proper justice to the people. So due to these flaws in common law, it became the reason of origin of court of equity. Absences of remedies. Sometimes the aggrieved party was not given remedy, as common law court said that there was no provisions present in the law of that party had to go back without any remedy. Absences of remedies. Sometimes the aggrieved party was not given remedy, as common law court said that there was no provisions present in the law of that party had to go back without any remedy. Inadequate remedies. The only remedy in a common law is that time was damages in form of compensation, but most of the time damages were not enough to compensate the loss of aggrieved party in cases. For example, sometimes people were emotionally attached with any contract or with some land end in disputes, etc. Rigid process. Common law courts were based on complex and inflexible systems, so to seek any remedy the aggrieved party had to fulfill some rigid formalities to get the remedy from common law court. Jury system. Common law court was based on jury system, and the member of the jury were from localities who were easily intimidated to do corruption, so the party was unable to get remedy from courts. Origin of court of equity. Due to the defects and flaws in the common law courts, where common law courts provided no proper remedy to the people, so the people started to make petitions to the king for seeking justice. When the burden of petition increased upon the king referred the petitions to his chancellor. And petition was presented before chancellor, and later separate court of equity comes into being. New remedies provided by court of equity. Specific performance is a form of injunction where a court orders an individual to complete a specific task, which is generally part of a contract. This remedy is discretionary and only used when an individual cannot be compensated by money. If they do not complete the contract, they will be held in contempt of court. For example, if Party A breached the contract and Party B was not satisfied with the damages of the common law court, then the court of equity grant the remedy of specific performance. Injunction. Injunction is the order of the court to do or not to do something. Court of equity introduced this remedy. It is awarded to protect legal right rather than compensate. Restoration of possession. This remedy of restoration of possession was introduced by the courts of equity, in which the possession of a person's property from the wrongdoer. Rectification. If any mistake is done in the contract and the right of individual is violated, then the court of equity allowed to rectify or modify the contract by mutual agreement. Recession. Recession means cancellation. In court of equity, or party can cancel the contract by mutual agreement or on any other grounds which become the reason of the cancellation of the contract. Conflict between the common law courts and courts of equity. The increasing popularity of the court of equity led to conflict with the common law courts. When there was a conflict between the two, equity would use a remedy which had the effect of preventing common law action from proceeding or prevent the common law judgment from being enforced. So, these two systems of common law and equity operated quite separately, so it was not surprising that this overlapping of the two systems led to conflict between them.